Welcome back, everyone. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a toolbox out of these scrap pieces of wood. We have a couple of wood strips on the side here and a 24 by 24 piece of plywood approximately. So the first step is we're going to divide this piece of plywood into 3 equal pieces of 8 inches, and this is what I'm doing right here. Once we made those measurements, we're going to cut our ply into the 3 equal pieces that we measured. So this is what we're doing here. Now you can see that I've laid out my wood in the position that the toolbox will be. And what I'm going to do here is just measure the width from one end to another, because I will be placing my blocks inside rather than sitting it on the bottom and top surface. So I'm measuring the width from one edge to another and then subtracting it by the actual thickness of the plywood on each side to get the dimensions of the blocks that will slide into the bottom and top space of the box. Once I have those measurements, now you can see that I'm going to mark it on this piece of 3/4 inch plywood, which is about 18 by 12, and my measurement actually came out to be approximately 7 1/4 by 7 7/8. So I'm just going to mark that on this piece of plywood. And remember, rather than measuring the second block, we could just trace the cutout of the first one that we're making right here. People tend to shy away from using hand tools, but for this one we're going to use our trusty handsaw, which a lot of people don't use anymore but can still be useful, and you'll find that you can use it for a lot of things. So here we're just gonna strike a line here to make the cut easier, and we're gonna go ahead and cut our blocks. Once the blocks are placed, they should fit exactly like this, nice and flush. Now that we're ready to start drilling, we're just going to place our blocks and wood in the same position that we did our layout and where we did all our measurements and stuff. So now that's what we're going to do. Place them in that same exact position and then drill them. Now we're just going to grab our third piece, and then this is going to be the bottom piece, and we're just going to make sure it's a good fit and place it and drill it. Now we're going to use these cool little wood strips that come in 8 feet lengths, and which I can't really remember the dimensions of right now, but we're going to use this to drill them onto the box and make a cool little design, I guess. You can find these at Home Depot for like $4 to $6, so pretty cheap. It's important to mention that I already measured the width across the top of the box, which is 5 inches, so that's what I cut the wood strips to. Forgot to show that part in the video, but yeah, always measure. Here you can see me measuring the distance in between the 2 wood strips I just placed, so that I know the distance to cut the wood that's going to go in between those 2, and that's how it's going to be placed, and that's going to be the design all around the box basically. Now I'm just going to repeat the exact same step, but going down this way now, and we're measuring from the floor to not to the top of the box, but the top of the wood strip, and then we're going to place the wood and repeat the same steps for the other side. Again, the same concept goes for measuring these blocks that go in between here. You just measure from end to end and then subtract the thickness of the wood on each side, and that should give you your width. But another way you can do it is place your tape measure on the inside edges of the wood and measure across, and that's your width. Here we have the finished product. Not the most beautiful, but gets the job done for what it's meant for. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.